do think you chose this life, but what if you're just following a script someone else wrote for you? Nietzsche saw this trap more than a century ago, and if you don't break free from it now, you'll wake up one day realizing you've spent your entire life living for someone else. Think about your life right now. You went to school because you were told you had to. You studied subjects you didn't choose. You picked a job because it was safe, even if it drained the color out of your days. You buy things you don't need with money you barely keep to impress people you don't even like. And maybe you tell yourself, this is just how life works. But deep down, in the quiet moments, in the shower, in the car, lying awake at night, you feel that heaviness, that gnawing suspicion that this isn't really your life. You have dreams, but they're shrinking. You have ideas, but you keep shelving them for later, and later never comes. Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher who terrified and inspired generations, once wrote, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." His point was brutally clear. Society doesn't want you to be yourself. It wants you to be useful. It doesn't reward originality. It rewards obedience. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they've traded their freedom for comfort. Nietzsche saw the world filling up with what he called the last men, people who avoid discomfort at all costs, who would rather be safe than alive. And when I look around at the modern world, at our schools, our jobs, our social media feeds, I can't help but think we've become exactly what he warned us about. Here's the wake-up call. Most people aren't living, they're maintaining. They've confused survival with purpose, and every day they stay in that loop, the harder it becomes to escape. In the next part, we're going to dive into Nietzsche's most dangerous idea, the one that can either shatter your illusions or set you free. The concept of becoming who you truly are, even if it costs you everything you've been taught to want. Nietzsche believed most people live second-hand lives, borrowing beliefs, values, and dreams from the culture around them. In his words, become who you are. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most radical demands in all of philosophy, because it means tearing away every borrowed identity until nothing is left but what is authentically you. From the moment you're born, the world starts telling you what to be. School trains you to sit still, memorize, and obey. Social media trains you to compare, to crave approval, to fear rejection. The economy trains you to measure your worth in productivity and paychecks. This is why you can feel successful by society's standards and still hate your life, because you've been living for their approval, not your own truth. Think about the people you know who followed the path. They did well in school, got into the right college, landed a respectable job, and yet years later they're stressed, exhausted, and quietly miserable. They can't admit it out loud because it would mean questioning their entire life structure. Nietzsche saw this as the great sickness of modern humanity. Herd morality, the instinct to blend in, follow rules, and never stand out. He warned that living this way turns you into the last man, comfortable, predictable, and dead inside long before you're buried. If you live only to avoid discomfort, you will also avoid greatness. In the next chapter, we'll see how Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, the person who transcends the herd, can serve as your blueprint for escaping the life you secretly hate. All right, the Übermensch concept is one of Nietzsche's most misunderstood ideas. People think it's about being a superhuman, but it's not about physical strength or superiority over others. It's about becoming so self-directed that society's scripts no longer apply to you. The Übermensch refuses to live life by default. They don't wait for permission. They don't seek validation. They write their own rules and bear the consequences, good or bad. In today's world, being an Übermensch might mean leaving a career everyone told you was secure to build something you believe in, refusing to participate in the social media status game, choosing depth over distraction even when distraction is easier. Modern psychology backs this up. Studies on intrinsic motivation show that people who act from personal values, rather than external rewards, report far higher life satisfaction even when they face more uncertainty. Why? Because their struggles feel meaningful. Here's a metaphor. Imagine two climbers on a mountain. One is climbing because they were told they should reach the top. The other climbs because they feel alive with every step. The same mountain, the same difficulty, completely different lives. You can endure almost any struggle if you choose it. But even the easiest life will crush you if it's chosen for you. But Nietzsche knew something else. Escaping the herd is only half the battle. The harder part is surviving the chaos that comes when you leave it. That's where his idea of Amor Fati, the love of your fate, becomes the survival skill you can't do without. If becoming who you are is the great rebellion, Amor Fati is how you keep going when that rebellion gets hard. Nietzsche described it as, "My formula for greatness in a human being is Amor Fati," that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. What this really means: most people tolerate their life, few people truly love it, and fewer still love all of it. The successes and the failures, the beauty and the pain. Amor Fati is the ability to embrace every moment, even the ones that hurt, as an essential part of your journey. Look at the modern problem. In today's culture, we're taught to obsess over fixing our lives. Upgrade your phone, improve your body, optimize your productivity. Always be chasing the better version of your life. But Amor Fati says, stop rejecting the present. Your power comes from fully accepting reality, then shaping it with what's in your control. I'll give you an example so you better understand. Let's say you hate your job. Most people either complain endlessly or fantasize about quitting. The Amor Fati approach is different. Accept that this job is where you are. Learn everything you can from it. Use the discomfort as fuel to plan your escape. You don't deny the pain, but you don't let it define you. Freedom doesn't start when life gets easier. It starts when you stop waiting for it to. In the final chapter, we'll combine all of Nietzsche's lessons into a practical, uncomfortable, but liberating roadmap for escaping the life you secretly hate. Starting now. By now, we must know that escaping the life you secretly hate isn't a weekend project. It's a dismantling of everything you've been taught to believe about safety, success, and happiness. Nietzsche never promised it would be easy, only that it would be worth it. Start with brutal self-honesty. Before you can change your life, you need to admit out loud that you hate it. Stop sugarcoating. Stop saying it's fine. Write down the parts of your life that feel dead, empty, or false. After that, you want to subtract the inessentials. Following the Stoic influence Nietzsche respected, begin removing everything that weakens you. Social obligations that drain you. Work that robs you of energy without giving meaning. Endless consumption of shallow entertainment. You can't escape the struggle, you must choose it willingly. The choice is whether you endure a struggle you resent or one you've chosen. Pick a goal so real to you that even the pain of pursuing it feels alive. Practice Amor Fati. When setbacks come, and they will, see them as part of the design. Not obstacles to the path, but part of the path. Live without permission. Stop waiting for people to understand, approve, or applaud your choices. They won't until you've already succeeded. And by then, you won't need them to. The life you secretly hate will not politely let you go. You will have to tear yourself away from it, piece by piece, day by day. Nietzsche's secret isn't a quick hack or a feel-good mantra. It's a challenge. Become who you are. Love the life you create and refuse to live as one of the last men. If you do that, one day you'll wake up, not in a life you were given, but in a life you chose. And that, Nietzsche would say, is the only kind worth living. If today's video challenged the way you see self-improvement, share it with one person who needs to hear it. That's how we break the cycle, one mind at a time.